welcome to strength training. So we're going to focus first on our warm-up, and then we're going to work on the full body today. I've got some particular areas worked out for you today, and then we'll finish off with some cooling down and some stretching. So let's first begin with our squats. So we're going to go for 10 repetitions to warm up the body. So coming down nice and easy for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, we're going to focus on the 3-way leg swing. So starting first with the left side, so coming forward and back for 2, 3, 4. So let's get the arms in there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then crossing it over, opening to the side. So opening that hip for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So bending at the left knee, we're going to open the hip to the side, or opening the knee to the side, squeezing the glute as you open. Woo! Don't have good balance today. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so changing side, big kick forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then crossing it over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let's bring the knee up. We're going to open it to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so bringing the feet nice and wide. Now, if you can fold forward and you can work with the flexibility like this, then great. So you're walking side to side. If not, just shifting your weight side to side. We're opening up the hips. We're focusing on the knees, the ankles, and of course the muscles of the legs, and walking or just rotating side to side. For a couple more. And last one. Okay, so bringing the opposite, bring the one palm to the opposite foot. Big stretch out, side to side. We're aiming for 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so it's rolling it back up nice and easy, walking the feet in, standing up nice and tall. We're going to stretch the quadriceps. So changing side to side. You're not holding too long here. We're focusing on dynamic movements, not static movements. So trying to warm your body up for movement. Okay, so we're going to aim for a few more here. 1, 2, 3, last one, and 4. So let's bring it back to center. We're going to bring the right leg behind. So we're going to pump the heel up and down for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll change sides, pushing the heel to the floor, big lift up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So coming back to center, we're going to rotate around the core for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming back to center, big pull front to back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, circling forward, nice big circles, and then reversing, opening that chest, and then maybe bringing it down to a medium-sized circle, and then a small size, and then just hugging yourself, opening the chest, opening the arms, stretching the back, and then rotating the shoulders, and forward, and a little bit of elbow rotations, and in the other direction, and the joints of the wrists rotating, and in the other direction, and then pointing the fingers down and up. Okay, so let's come on down to the mat. We're going to do some stretching for the glutes since we've got some glute work to do. So we're going to come into a kneeling position. So doubling up the mat if you need to do that for extra cushion on the knees. We're going to arch the back a little bit, supporting the palms here on the lower back. You want to think about squeezing the glutes and then just slowly folding forward a little and then lifting up, arching, but supporting that back. But really squeezing into those glutes, opening the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades. And again, let's repeat that a few times for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start you off today on the mat. So we're going to work on rep counting. So I'll count your reps. You're going to follow along with me. We're going to begin first with the glutes. So I'm going to have you lay flat on the back. We're going to cross the one leg over the other. So the ankle is resting just above the right kneecap. Arms are out to the side, and we're going to just lift up, pushing through that stationary foot down here. And you really want to think about squeezing the glutes as you lift up. So we're going to aim for 12 on each side. So let's get ready. And breathing out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, a big lift, breathing out, 1, and 2. Okay, changing feet, so over to the other side, so big lift up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's aim for 2 more. Big lift. 1 and 2. Okay, hug the knees in. Maybe rock side to side. We're going to do one more set of those. Rest the feet on the floor. Moving the knees side to side. Stretching those hips. Massaging that very low back. And breathing. All right, so let's bring it back to center. Feet are planted on the floor. Let's cross the left leg over the right, opening up that left knee. So here we go, big lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, Breathing out, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's aim for 2, big lift, 1 and 2. Changing feet, crossing the right leg over the left. Okay, big lift up, big squeeze, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1 and 2. Hug the knees in, rolling side to side, massaging that back. Maybe bringing the feet to the floor and windshield wiper the legs side to side. All right. Okay, so next exercise, we're going to do some clamshells. So we're going to bring the elbow just underneath the shoulder. So a couple different variations you can do here. You can do just the regular lift where you're resting on the side, you're lifting up and down, or you can do the plank, lift and lower, or you can lift up, plank, lift the knee and lower back down. Okay, so just remember I'm doing the count, so just kind of work a little bit with inside your own count, but try to keep it on track. Okay, so pick which one you'd like to do, and then I'll begin here. So big lift up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to aim for 12, so halfway. 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1 and 2. Okay, so we're going to change sides, so you can roll over to the other side. I'm just going to switch over here. So resting my elbow right underneath my shoulder, my forearm is flat. Okay, and then I'm just making sure that when I look down, my knees here, they're in line with my hips. Okay, so let's get ready. So breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so let's rest up, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna repeat that round one more time. So again, while you're resting, I'm just gonna talk about the form. So you're resting that elbow just right underneath that shoulder to support the shoulder girdle properly. Bringing the knees in line with the hips. So you want to make sure they're not sitting here in front of you. Okay, so readjusting the knees. Okay, now just remember what I said. You can do the normal just up and down here, resting fully on the mat. You can lift up, clamshell, and then lower back down, or you can hold the clamshell up the entire time and do the clamshell just like that. Okay, so here we go. So pick which one you want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Okay, let's change sides. Okay, so bringing those knees into alignment, resting the elbow underneath the shoulder. I'm going to do holding the hips upwards, so you guys pick which one you're going to do. I'll count us off here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so let's rest up. While you're resting, I'm going to demo the next exercise. We're going to come into resting in tabletop on all fours, so palms just underneath the shoulders and your knees directly underneath the hips. And we're going to focus on glute kick, and we're going to alternate side to side. Now, just making sure that when you do this one, you keep the knees bent at 90 degrees as you lift up, so don't extend the leg out behind. Okay, so think about pushing the sole of the foot up towards the sky. Okay, so abs nice and tight. Let's get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's aim for 2, 1, and 2. Okay, so rounding the back like a madcap. Dropping the belly down, lifting the chin and tail. And then maybe just coming back into child's pose, stretching it out. All right. So grabbing just a quick drink, and then we're going to repeat that round. So coming on to all fours again. Okay. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, good job, guys. Let's rest up. Then we're going to focus on some abs. So we're going to particularly focus on the lower abs. Okay? All right. So for the next exercise, we've got 3 different ones that we're going to work on. And it's all focusing on maintaining the pelvic tilt. So actually, I'll just spin around here. So first one we're going to do, we're going to lay flat on the floor. We're going to bring the feet to the sky. And we're going to focus on lifting the soles of the feet up towards the sky. Okay, so for me, my range of motion is generally pretty good here. I can get pretty high off the floor. But your main purpose here is to maintain that pelvic tilt and making sure that you're not engaging the upper body when you're trying to lift the lower part of the body off the floor. So a lot of the time, people are struggling, they're pushing their arms into the floor, they're contracting their traps up towards their earlobes, they're contracting their chest, they're doing all sorts of things to try to get themselves up there. Now, you may push up, it might just be a little push, but just keep it as a little push without engaging the upper body. All right, so here we go, big lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's aim for 2, 1, and 2. Okay, so nice big stretch out. Reach those arms out. Point the toes. Extend the arms above the head. And then just doing a little bit of an arch here in the back. Breathing. All right. Bring the arms back over. Drawing the knees back to the mat. Soles of the feet on the floor. We're going to go back to extend the legs to the sky. And then big lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, good job. So hug it in. Now we're going to change it up. Maybe rocking side to side. And then big stretch out. All right. Okay, so we're going to bring the right leg to the sky, and we're going to do slow motion lower, and then power up. Slow motion lower, and then power up. So what I would suggest is keeping the left knee bent, the right leg to the sky, so maintaining the pelvic tilt here on the floor. Okay, so we're going to aim for 12, slow motion lower. Don't touch the floor, and power up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway there. 7, let's keep it going nice and strong. You got this. 8, 9, 10, we're aiming for 2, 1, and 2. All right, so bending the knee, resting that on the floor, coming to the other side. Lower slow, slow motion, and power up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway guys, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, we're almost there now. 1, and 2. All right, let's extend those legs out, big stretch, breathing. Good, and rest. Okay, so next up, what we're going to do, pelvic tilt. We're going to practice knees in and out. Now, when you go straight out, okay, so straight out at sort of the knee height here, okay, that's going to be your harder movement. to go upwards and maintain pelvic tilt is going to be easier, okay? So the lower you go with the legs, the harder it's going to be on the lower abs, okay? So now if you find that the lower abs are weak and you can't maintain that pelvic tilt, let's focus on going more upwards towards the sky as opposed to outwards and lower, okay? So you have to play with your movement a little bit to figure out where it's going to best suit you. So in other words, you have to make sure that you maintain that pelvic tilt throughout the exercise. Okay, so let's find that spot. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so rest, maybe draw the soles of the feet together, move the hips side to side, just stretching out the legs a little bit. All right, so we're gonna practice again one more time. We're coming back to the flattening of the back, and then we're gonna push it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1, and 2. Good. Okay, so nice big stretch out. Reaching those arms. Breathing. Good. All right, bring everything to center. Hug it in. Maybe rock yourself side to side. Okay. Okay, so we're going to focus on the rear, the posterior portion of the body. So we're going to focus on some rear flies next, an exercise I call snow angels, and then an alternating double arm Superman lift. So it focuses on a lot of the weaknesses that we notice in the posterior part of the body. Okay, so you're going to need some weights for the next exercise. Now, what I suggest doing is going with either 3s or 5s and making sure, or even just using your body weight for the exercise, depending on what you have available at your place, okay? Now, for this one, you can do this one in a seated position, or you can do it standing. Okay, so when you're in the standing position, you're going to bend over. The arms are going to come to the sides of the body as you lift out. You're making sure that the arms are not tracking behind you. Okay, so when you lift that arm out to the side, if you're looking straight ahead, you should see the arm in the peripheral vision. Okay, so now if you're doing a seated variation, which is a little bit easier on the back, on the lower back. Okay, so a lot of the time in that bent over position, people will round their back, which is not the correct way to do it. You need to flatten the back out, so that's coming into just a tiny bit of an arch here and flattening out the back. Okay, now if you have a hard time doing that, come to a seated position, and then you'll just fold forward a little bit, and then you're going to fly the arms out to the side. Okay, so let's find our best position. Pick a weight and or just use your arms. Okay, so coming over, we're going to go for 12 reps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more. 1 and 2. Good. All right, so bringing the arm across the body, we'll stretch it out. Open and switch. Don't hold it too long. Open and switch. And again, open and switch. Okay, and rest. Okay, so grab yourselves a drink and then we'll do one more round. We're gonna go for 12 reps. Okay, so getting ready, we're gonna fold forward. So big lift to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1 and 2. Okay. Okay, so resting up, guys, grab a drink. And then we're gonna make it down to the mat again. So we have 2 exercises to do on the mat. Okay, so first exercise on the mat, you're gonna be laying face down with the legs out behind, so feet rest on the floor. Now you can also engage the lower part of the back as well by lifting the feet off the mat, but that's an option. So you're gonna bring your fingertips to the temples, looking straight down at your mat. The arms are gonna come to shoulder height. You're gonna flip the palms up and then connect them to the lower part of the back. Now, as you come back, you're gonna go the same way as you went down towards the back. Okay. So again, you can engage the lower back. If you wanna lift the feet off the floor, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, so fingertips at the temples. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1 and 2. Okay, so nice big rest. We're gonna push ourselves up, round the back into mad cat, drop the chin, tuck the tail, and then dropping the belly down, lifting the chin and tail up, stretching the belly. And again, rounding the back. And then dropping the belly down. All right. Okay, so we're going to repeat that round. So coming back, laying on the floor, bringing the hands to the temples. And again, you can lift the feet off the mat to make it harder. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1 and 2. Okay, so coming back to the mat, pressing your palms into the mat, you can press yourself up and away, rounding the back into a mad cat. Dropping the belly down into cow pose. And then just moving maybe side to side if you did the lower back part. Okay. Okay, so next one, laying on the stomach, arms are out in front. Looking down at your mat, we're going to do opposite arm and leg lift. You're going to go for 2 lifts on each side and then change. Okay, so let's get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, so let's rest. So nice big stretch out in front. Maybe come back to tabletop, rounding the back. And maybe dropping the belly, lifting the chin and tail. And again, maybe rounding the back. And dropping the chin, or lifting the chin, dropping the belly. All right. Okay, so one more set. So coming down, extending those arms out in front, looking down at the mat, keeping the head in line. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay, so maybe back to that mad cat and cow movement. So rounding up the back. Dropping the belly, lifting the chin and tail. Then just coming back to flatten your back, drawing a little bit of a C with your core body, bringing the head towards the hip. And then to the other side. So coming back to center. Okay, so let's grab a drink, resting up. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to focus on the calves. So bringing the feet nice and straight. We're going to come up onto the toes. So making sure, now you can add weight if you like. You can hold 2 weights at the side. You can hold one at the chest, or you can just use the body weight. So nice big lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the same for 2, 1, and 2. Okay, so making any adjustments, maybe grab some weights if you don't have any and you want to try the weights, but the next we're going to do is we're going to bring the toes out, and we're going to focus on toes facing out, and we're going to roll, focusing a little bit more onto the baby toes. Okay, so let's get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the same for 2, 1, and 2. Okay, so making any weight adjustments, now we're going to do pigeon toes. You're bringing the toes in, and then we're going to push straight up. Okay, so you'll feel a little bit more of a roll onto the toe, the outer edges of the toes. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, readjust if you have to, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1, and 2. Good, okay, so shaking it out, take a little bit of a rest, maybe stretch it out, we'll pump that back heel up and down, couple on one side, couple on the other side, just working out that tightness. Okay, so we're gonna go back, we're gonna do another round of those. Okay. Okay, so feet straight, taking the dumbbells, either 2 at the side, you can do 1 at the chest or just the body weight. Okay, so make the adjustments accordingly. And here we go, nice big lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nice big squeeze, 9, 10, now 2 more, 1 and 2. Okay, so toes out for the next one. Okay, so let's get ready. So big lift up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 1 and 2. Okay, so pigeon toes coming in. All right, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost there, 8, 9, 10, last 2, 1, and 2. All right, good work, guys. Okay, shake it out. Maybe do a few little pumps up and down while you're doing that. I'm going to start to prepare you guys for the abs. So just take your time, do a few little stretches there, grab a drink, and then let's get back down onto the mat. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on hamstrings next. Did I say abs? I hope I didn't say abs because I meant hamstrings. All right, so the first exercise we're going to focus on are bridges. So coming into laying flat on the floor, we're going to do pushing through the heels of the feet. We're going to do some bridges up and down. Okay, so let's get ready. We're going to focus on 12 repetitions. So big lift up, pushing through the heels of the feet, and really focusing on squeezing through the glutes and the hamstrings right here. Okay, so we're at 5, 6, breathing out, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, breathing out, 1, and 2. Okay, so resting, drawing the knees into the chest, we're going to hug them in, stretch it out. And then 1 on the hamstring stretch on the one side, and then to the other side. So 1 more time on the other side, stretching that hamstring up, pushing the heel of the foot towards the sky, and then changing sides. Okay, so back to the bridges again, pushing through the heels of the feet, big lift up, 1, squeeze those glutes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, big squeeze for 12. Okay, so hugging the knees in, Maybe rolling side to side. And then we'll stretch the right leg to the sky from hamstring on the one side. And then on the other side. And then change sides, big lift up. And then to the other side. All right, so we have 2 more exercises left. So next up, we're gonna do bridge walkouts. So you're gonna lift up your hips, you're gonna hold that bridge, we're gonna walk the feet in and out, okay? So this is quite challenging. Now you can do it flat-footed, or you can work from the heels of the feet coming in and out. Okay, so let's get ready. We're gonna lift up those hips, squeeze the glutes, and here we go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, squeeze those glutes, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one for 12. Okay, hug it in, again, big squeeze. Maybe hamstring stretch, feet to the sky. Changing sides. And again, other side. Changing sides. All right, let's try it again. Feet to the floor. Hip lift up. Here we go for 1. Squeeze those glutes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift those hips. Don't let them sag. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one for 12. Okay, so hugging it in again. Rocking side to side. All right, so let's bring it into hamstring stretch. We're going to extend the right leg to the sky since we're already down here. Drawing the big toe in towards the shin. Holding that stretch. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. All right, and we'll hug that knee in on the same side. And change sides. So extending the left leg to the sky, drawing the big toe to the shin. And then hugging the knee in. Good, and relax now. Let's draw the soles of the feet together, stretching the groin muscles. Try to relax the knees as much as you can, open to the sides. Remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. And then we'll draw those knees back to center. And then we're going to sit up. We're going to do the glute stretch. So extending the right leg onto the floor, we're going to bring the left one over top and gently bend the right knee, bringing the left knee in towards the chest. Okay, so you're doing a nice stretch into the glutes. You're trying to open up the left hip. Remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. And then relax. Okay, changing it over to the other side. So bringing that knee in, lifting it up. Remember to breathe, don't hold the breath. Extending the legs out in front, sitting up nice and tall. Big reach towards the shins, maybe the soles of the feet, rounding the back. All right, let's connect the fingers together, roll the palms up towards the sky, big stretch up. And lowering the arms down, connecting the fingers together, roll the shoulder blades together, drawing the palms together behind the back. And releasing the arms. So stretching out the abdominal muscles, we'll come into that cat and cow pose again, rounding the back like a cat. And then dropping the belly down, cow pose. So lifting the chin and tail up, you're arching the back here, or rounding the back. And then rounding the spine into mad cat, another time. And lowering the belly down, lifting the chin and tail up. Then we're coming back to flattening the back, drawing a little bit of a C. With this part of the body, you're concaving it in. So you're bringing the head towards the hip on the same side. And then we'll change sides to the other side. And again, one side and to the other side. All right. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Focused a little bit more on the body parts that tend to be on the weaker side or sometimes even neglected in a workout. So enjoy, and we'll see you back here soon. Take care. Have a great day, guys. Bye for now.